All right. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope you've had a great week so far, and I hope you're doing well. The weather is starting to change in New York, and it's kind of nice to not have below 30-degree temperatures every day. And I miss the snow, but it's nice to have it dry and have the sun out too. So I hope that you are getting ready for spring because it's coming up in a couple weeks. And let's see here. To get right into today's lesson, last week I had mentioned that I'm trying to release a new piece of music every full moon. And so we just had a full moon. When was it? Saturday? I guess it was Saturday, 6 days ago. And so I released a piece of music. If you're interested, you can check it out in the link in like the where it says like show more information or whatever on YouTube in the description. It's a Bandcamp link, and there's also my website in there too if you want to contact me about anything. I would love to speak with you. So I put out that piece of music and I was just like, you know what? I think I'm going to talk about it because it falls right in line with the Harmonic Series information that we've been going over. So let me go ahead and pull up this. This may look a little bit familiar. This these little this little grid almost. Yeah. Let's mute everything that's not that. I did this all backwards. Last week I had shown about how I kind of had mapped a harmonic series into Logic, and basically what it was is it was so we've got like the first or our fundamental tone, and then we've got our second tone, and then we've got our third tone, fourth tone, fifth tone. Here's our sixth tone, our seventh tone, and our eighth tone. And in this case, I used G as the fundamental. Well, it's a little out of tune G. I used 100 hertz as the fundamental, or maybe 50 hertz as the fundamental, because I wanted a nice, very divisible, very easy to work with number. And frequency is kind of something I've been interested in. Tuning to A440, there's a lot of people talking about now tuning to A432, right? So I was like, okay, well, cool. Let's see, does A432 have an obvious effect on the music versus music tuned to A440? And in this case, I don't know what that would make my A in this case, but I know that my G is 100. So it's a nice workable frequency. Just kind of like as a personal experiment to just determine how frequency affects listeners and listening and the experience. So anyways, what I did was I had this whole harmonic frequency mapped out, like I said, from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, on up to the 16th. But for this most recent piece, I decided to just use the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th. So in this case, the key of G, that would be G, F, and D. That's the G right above middle C, the F right above middle C, and the D right above middle C. And so they have this relationship of 8, 7, 6. So that means that rhythmically, that in the same amount of time for this D to sound 6 times, this F will sound 7 times, and this G will sound 8 times. So let's have a listen to what that just sounds like in and of itself. I use simple sine waves here because I wanted to reflect nature as much as I could, and I felt like if I started to add more sonic information into the tones, then it would not be nature's music. It would not be realistic. It would not be natural, blah 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 blah. So here we go. And let's play. Hey. And the cycle's going to start again here at bar 9, where they all hit. And it's going to cycle again at 17. So already to me, this is kind of like a cool, like little background. A lot of times I think of, I like visual stuff, and I really like paintings, and so I kind of see this as almost like a if you got a canvas that you're painting on, and then you paint it like all orange, just as like the base of what you're going to paint the entire rest of your painting on this background of, say, orange. I think it's like it gives you like an interesting jumping off point. So already we've got this cool rhythmic and melodic grid, or like I was saying, a bass or like a pad. And I'm going to add in this low G, maybe. There we go. And so this is obviously not a sine wave. I was just like, you know what? Sine waves are cool, but they're also kind of boring. So let me go ahead and create a synthesizer sound that, it's not like super crazy or anything. But it's kind of a cool, nice little bass sound, and it's like, it's a different color than the orange on our canvas, right? This could be like the color, I don't know, red. Okay. So what I did was let's get these things back in here. So what I did was I just bounced or rendered or recorded. I just had this MIDI file from this MIDI grid, and then I just had like 5 minutes worth of it, and just bounced files to that. So we got our bass track, we got this track right here, we got the F, and we got the G. So these are going to be files that I will use in my in the song. They're just kind of like their own things right now. And the next step that I did was I was like, okay, this is cool, but it's all happening in one key. So let's create another harmonic series for the key of blah 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 D. And I chose the key of D because D is the fifth of G, and it is the most and like we already know, the fifths are the most consonant interval outside of an octave. So I was just like, how can I change it up a little bit and still keep it very consonant? And so the key of D is what happened here. So we've got our first, or our fundamental tone, and then going up the harmonic series, we've got our second tone. And then I skipped the third, the fourth, the fifth, and decided to just jump straight to the sixth and the seventh because I like this relationship. In the key of D, those tones are C, an octave above middle C, and A, which is the A above middle C. And so they create this nice minor third. And again, this C is happening 7 times in the time that it takes for this A to happen 6 times. So we get a nice interval that's both melodic or pitched or harmonic, however you want to call it, and it's also rhythmic. And then kind of like, and these are both simple sine tones as well. And I was just like, okay, well, I had that cool little bass sound for the key of G. Let me come up with a cool little bass sound for the key of D. And here we go. And then I was like, let me give the fundamental some representation. So if we've got our canvas happening, and then these little bass tones are some paint that we can add on top of it. So we've got this little, I don't know, we've got ourselves a little grid. And just like I did with the G harmonic series, for the D harmonic series, I just copied and pasted this grid out and recorded about 5 minutes worth of each of the individual tracks. There's the fundamental track. There's the next note in the harmonic series track. The 6th note in the harmonic series track. And the 7th note. So that I could manipulate each of those tracks individually later. And I think that's going to be the lesson for today. Next week, I will show you how I combined them and then where I went from there. Good to see you, Maria and Anne-Marie. Thanks for joining. I like that bass sound too, right? It's kind of cool. It's not super complex, but it's still kind of cool. It's complex doesn't always have to, or cool doesn't always have to be complex. Let's see here. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I wanted to say, but I just can't remember right now. So maybe I'll remember to add it in next week. But anyways, I hope that was cool. I'll show how I manipulated those each individual tracks. I just wanted to show how we got to those individual little tracks, and then I'll show how I manipulated them later to create a bigger piece. And if you want to check out that piece, like I said, the link will be in the description of this video. And if you want to contact me about some lessons, I would absolutely love to help you on your musical journey. Hit me up. My website is also in the descriptions, and we can talk about what you want to do. I offer 100% money back guarantee, so you got nothing to lose with that. And with that, I think I will leave it. All right, have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you next Friday at 2 p.m.